Juan Toves Guzman was born June 16, 1934, in the historic village of Sumay, which is now located on U.S. Naval Base Guam. He was just 7 years old when Japanese forces bombed the island during World War II. We recently sat down with Mr. Guzman as he shared his story of war, occupation, and liberation.
The people of Guam supposed to celebrate the Santa Carmelin. That day there was no school, so everybody's free. Everybody's free from school. We heard humming of airplanes coming from the direction of over Rody Point, northwest of Rody Point. And some people thought that the U.S. Navy is putting out an air show, but it is not.
The distant humming was in fact Japanese planes approaching Sumay, preparing to drop bombs in the vicinity, which at the time was the hub of communications for the island.
The minute they break formation, they start bombing. The Marine barrack went up in flame. Then the Standard Oil Company, the reserve tanks, went up in huge flame and black smoke all over. Then they start bombing the Guam Cable and the Pan Am Hotel and everything surround those all the resources. What they did is they did not knock off all the resources that Sumay had, so there would be no communication to the outside world.
A week after the island was attacked, Japanese soldiers set foot on island and Guam was handed over to them by U.S. Naval Governor George McMillan.
A high-ranking Japanese officer ordered that all those people staying in Rody and Sumay must move into Upper area. That's where the commissary now and the Navy Exchange stand. So we have to move in and build our makeshift home, school, and church, because the Japanese garrison occupied the whole area in whole area in Sumay and Rody Point. So we have to move away from Sumay. After 4 hours of schooling, then they put us in either the sweet potato plantation or rice field. I work in the rice field by Rock 2 in Agate. Anything that the Japanese rules put out, we kind of ignore it. They will get you and punish you by slapping across the face or make you stand attention and kick you both legs and you have to flip over. I witnessed some beheaded in Atang Tunnel.
As U.S. soldiers moved closer to the island in an effort to recapture her, Japanese forces began relocating the Chamorro people from their homes to concentration camps around the island. Mr. Guzman and his family were sent to Manengan.
Before we leave Apla to the concentration camp on mid of July 1944, the rules and regulations the Japanese put out that if anybody too old and too sick to make the journey must be left behind. That's the last camp that we ever been there, and many people have been suffering. We were treated like animals in the concentration camp.
After suffering for weeks in the concentration camp, Mr. Guzman recalls the moment he encountered American soldiers.
My mother sent me down to the river to scoop some water to make hot water. And I was walking up to the camp. My eye caught something moving under a tree. So I tried not to disregard it because I thought the Japanese soldiers came back. But when another second time, I saw two guys moving under a tree. Then I kind of back up and take a very good look, and I saw this guy right in front holding a rifle with a muddy, dirty uniform. I looked it over and the guy calling me from his finger. So I know, I thought the Japanese that calling me. So I laid on the water, the bamboo, and I walked slowly over to him and put his finger on his lip to be quiet. So I went over and asked me, "Do you speak English?" I said, "Little bit." "Is anybody in the camp that I can talk? Anybody in the camp that can speak good English? Like, maybe I'll find somebody." So he gave me a candy bar. For whoever I pick to show it to him or her, that is a proof that the American is right here in the camp. The first person I approached in the camp is an old lady by the name of Tan Rosario. And I tried to hold her hand to come with me to whisper to her ear, but she insisted. She thought I'm joking. So I told her in Zamora, I said, "You have to come with me. I'm going to tell you something." Then I take out the candy bar from my bag, because I put it in my bag so no one can see it. So when I showed that to her, man, she is very excited. Early in the morning, that's when we started walking down to Tengu Vista. We go west. And then down in the Tengu Vista, that's where we met all the people that are coming up from the different concentration camps in Menango. Some were transported to Agana. People from the south were transported to Agat refugee camp.
When the island was liberated and Japanese forces officially surrendered Guam to America, the Chamorro people slowly began to rebuild their lives. Many people returned to their villages. However, Mr. Guzman, as well as other Sumay residents, were relocated to the current village of Santa Rita, where many of them still live to share their stories.
Let them find more history of their ancestors, their grandparents, and they better know where they really came from. It's all up to the children now to keep up their parents' story.
Let us always remember the brave men who fought for our island's freedom, and the men, women, and children who suffered through the occupation. Thank you for sharing this special segment of Island History. From all of us here at Joint Region Marianas Public Affairs Office, have a great Navy Day.